What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. We've got Savona sold. We've got the Champions League draw. We've got Vlahovic getting offered an extension. Are we signing any players? The window's almost closed. Fans are calling it the worst window ever for Juve. Does the Army feel like it's the worst window ever for Juventus? Guess what, Army? This is your show. This is a live impromptu show that is run by you. Your Storm the Barns will guide myself, Mas, and Omer on today's show, and I look forward to it. We will start with Champions League draw, however, but for now, this one's all yours. Mas, how you doing, man? What, you went and saw Oasis? How was that, man?
Oh my God. I've literally been depressed the last few days because I don't know how I'm gonna top that in my life. It was unreal, man. It was so good.
Well, that's good,
Nostalgic.
man.
They sounded amazing. It was amazing. No other
I'm
way to
happy you
explain it.
got to enjoy that, the Oasis show. I'm also happy that the Cowboys gave the Packers Micah Parsons, so thank you very much for that one. All
You
right?
had to go
Uh,
there, eh? You had to
Did
go there.
that's how we're
did they
starting
have
this one.
did they have Richard Ashmore opening for them?
No, no.
Oasis?
It was Cage the Elephant
Oh,
open for them in North America, yeah.
oh shit.
Now, we've got already, Yorio, no tank top for Omer. Are you all right, my friend?
There's a point to it. There's a reason why, but I have a tank top right next to me. So once the reason is fulfilled, I'll move back to a tank top.
He's
Are you
going
waiting
tarps
for
off.
someone to maybe try and spot and claim, or are you going
Hmm.
to just fire away with why?
No, no, I'm waiting for someone.
All right,
Well,
all right.
show him the badge at least. How are
That's
they gonna guess off of the color, right? There you go.
no. I'm gonna have a Sev moment here with the camera. Yeah.
Shaky said.
Well, yeah, you're
Yeah.
not as shaky, so we're all right. We're all right. We've
Still
already
young.
got
Still young.
some Storm the Barns in here. The first thing we will just discuss is the Champions League draw that took place yesterday, and we'll take a look at Juve's list of opponents here. As you see, at home, Borussia Dortmund, away to Real Madrid, at home, Benfica, away, Villarreal, home, Sporting Lisbon, and then of course you've got away, Bodo Glimt, and then home, Paphos, and you've got Monaco away. So, guys, how do you feel about the draw? Let's start with Omer here. And by the way, I think the chat's kind of caught on there, Omer.
Yurio, bravo. Yeah, yeah, Grimsby. Bought that shirt like a year ago and never thought it would be useful. I just liked the movie. So I decided to buy it. But what do you know? Life is full of surprises.
There you go. Now to the
I don't
Champions
hate
League
Man
draw.
United, but just I have to. Yeah, the Champions League draw. I think it's awesome. To be honest, I think that's a great draw. I mean,
Yeah.
you can. Only complaint would be like Real Madrid, but the rest of the teams in there were just as bad. I would have felt exactly the same drawing Liverpool or Bayern or Paris Saint Germain or Barcelona. And Dortmund is arguably the weakest side out there. So I think that's a great draw. We play the two Portuguese sides at home. We
Yeah.
play twice away in Spain, and we're I think one of two or three teams that didn't get any EPL teams,
Yeah, I
which is pretty crazy because there are six of those. So
yeah.
yeah, that's great.
And Mas, your thoughts on the draw? Omer says it's a great draw for Juve. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, aside from Madrid, I mean, all the teams are beatable in terms of where we're at. We traditionally struggle with Portuguese teams, so Benfica and Sporting there kind of worry me a bit. But yeah, compared to who we could have gotten, like Omer said, it's manageable. I think Madrid will obviously be the tough one, right? But even on their day, it's with this new format, anything can happen, kind of thing, right? So I'm not too concerned about it. There's some tough teams in there, but I think next round should be pretty attainable for us.
Yeah, I mean, probably there was a couple tricky sides out of the last pot that you wanted to avoid. Monaco probably not the one, but a little bit tricky. I'm not too worried about it. I just see overall, like, the names, I'm not too worried about it. The reason we're scared about Benfica is just our history, our record against them. But as a side, they still don't really strike fear. Villarreal, Sporting. The fact you're playing Benfica and Sporting at home is good. Getting Dortmund, like you guys pointed out of the first pot there, that's good. Real Madrid away is what it is. The biggest thing I see amongst all, and of course, Bodo Glimt on their pitch at that time of year that you're going to play them in colder temperatures. They actually have like a decent record, I think, too, at home in like European matches. It's
30 out of 38.
What's that?
30 out of 38.
Yeah, I'm still not concerned. And the biggest thing is, you got one, maybe two games there where one of Tudor's biggest issues that we've seen so far has been when you have to adapt, when you have to change because you're going to be battling just to have a fair share of the ball. He's done brutal in those games in the small period that we've had him. He's not going to have that problem with outside, like with the majority of those teams. Probably only one, really. Maybe two you can make the argument for, but this allows him to not have to change anything drastically for almost all those opponents, and that in itself is going to bode well because what he is trying to do, I'm actually with it. Get the ball up quickly to the attackers, let them go, and that is the strength of this team, is going to be the front line and the midfield. You're not going to get overrun outside of one, maybe two there in that game, so you should be able to have fair share of ball, so our game plan shouldn't have to alter tremendously for these matches. I actually like that. But the one thing that strikes me with this Champions League draw is you could see a lot of it like a mile away, but man, it's as if you can't escape the news, you can't escape the mercato, you can't escape anything with Juventus. You knew you were going to get Real Madrid because of the Hoyson move. Villarreal, you're going to be reunited with Vega. You've got Monaco with Paul Pogba. All right, so is he going to be around at that stage of the season? It's just funny. And you've got Sporting with Ullman, one of the targets for Juve. So it's almost like they just know that they got headlines around these ones. But UEFA would never rig anything anyways, boys. They would never rig it. No. All right.
By the way, what a crap ceremony. Have
you
watched it? Like everything leading up to it?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the tempo compared to last year, though. I will say that. Like, at least it kind of went on. Last year was just awful. It's like an hour, I think, before you even got a draw happening. And it was just like explanation after explanation after explanation. It's like nobody cares, man. Just get to it. Anyways, that's the Champions League draw. And yeah, for the most part, I've been hearing people pretty positive about it. But again, a lot feel there's too many 50-50 games in there because you have too many teams at our level. I actually look at it the opposite way. The fact that there's so many teams that are level with us in terms of where we see them should allow us to play our game. And we should be all right. Now, let's get to the Storm the Barns because this is the Army's show. Right out of the gate, BB Giuntoli, better than Comolli, and it ain't even close. Whew! All right. Bam. I might be, I wouldn't even say in a minority, but I'm going to say I just see two guys that are dealing with the same problem and are just doing it differently. So I can't really say that one guy's method is better than the other guy's. It's just they're both dealing with the same issue. Your assets are going to be younger guys. You have a list of guys you're struggling to move. One guy went about it in a very aggressive fashion. The other guy is okay to keep the peace, keep the harmony, and remain status quo. But they're both dealing with the same thing. And it's the same name. So I can't really say one method's better than the other, because at the end of the day, what's going to ultimately decide that is your results. Last year, we went into the season and we knew we were going to lack depth at a certain spot. This year, we could be heading into the season lacking some depth in a few roles. So I see it the same way. It's just they're going about it different ways. We might have the same end result where we have a lack of depth in a couple spots. Last year, it was definitely at the back line, and we paid for it. But I can't really go out and say one guy's really better than the other or he did better. But I will say this. Last season's window, I still stand firm, was not as bad a window as everybody made it out to be because of the job Malta did and the way it played out on the pitch. I still say you got rid of guys and you brought in guys that had something to their name. And you still picked up good, solid players for cheap deals. Di Gregorio, Thuram. Cabal's a good player at 12 million. Kalulu was a good deal at 18. Like, I'm just going to say it. That wasn't a bad window. Is this a bad window so far? I don't think it's the worst window ever for Juve, but I think it's a very quiet one, and I don't know if it had to be this quiet. I'm not sure. But guys, Giuntoli, better than Comolli? I think it's just the same issues. Mas, what do you think?
Yeah, they're still dealing with the same problem, like you said. I think it's totally different in the sense where Giuntoli did throw some money around last year to guys that had higher profiles, like you said. And this year they're trying to play it a little safer, right? The issue still remains. We're still light this year as we were going into the season last year. But Comolli's playing a bit of a safer approach, right? And I don't think Comolli's been around long enough to kind of make that sort of broad statement that Giuntoli's better. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time. Listen, everybody's frustrated over the market. I mean, we didn't get done what we wanted to do. We still have a lot of dead weight on the team that we weren't able to get rid of. We still have Dusan on the squad. It's just probably going to cause some, consternation throughout the season. But, the jury's still out on Comolli right now. We'll see how it ends.
Yeah, and Omer, what do you feel about that first storm the barn right out of the gate?
Well, it's really early, too early to even judge that, because you don't judge Comolli based on what he did in the summer, or any sporting director based on how the team performed based on what he did in the summer. Giuntoli's biggest mistake was Mota. If he would have gone for Conte, had the exact same market, but Conte instead of Mota, then we might be having a different discussion today. So It's not per se the summer, but a specific choice that ruined it all. Comolli, we still haven't seen his plan come to fruition, and Tudor and the players he decided to sell. It will be a fair question next summer, after we see how it shaped out. Now it's just that we don't have anything to go by. We have our own frustrations. That's fine, but if we win a Scudetto at the end of the season, then we wouldn't be talking about it anymore.
Yeah. Ultimately, that'll be what decides it, is what happens through the season. Even going back to the last window, we called out the one glaring issue was some strange moves to take away some depth, and then you got stung by it with injuries. So you played a risky game, it bit you in the ass. Are we going to be playing a risky game this season? We wait and see. He's got a couple days, but Italy's got to get rid of this friggin' siesta time, man. Like, you shutting down from 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, whatever the hell it is, and maybe our mercatos would be a little bit quicker. Okay, so let's go, smokes, come on. And I gotta say here, there's a comment in there. I think I saw respect to Comolli for not selling Vlahovic to Napoli. Are we buying that Juve rejected 35 million to send Vlahovic to Napoli? Come on.
There's no
We're
way.
not buying that, are we?
I
Absolutely
mean,
not.
We're not buying that
anyone.
one, are we? Come on. And people are like Antonio Corso, whatever the hell. Like, oh my God. Trying to paint a picture of this source being reliable is quite funny. It's just, no, no, there's no shot. So you're telling me the 20 million we wanted to see, which is break even on him, we're going to turn down 15 million over it and an opportunity to say goodbye to the wages. What? And you think Napoli would help Juve in the Vlahovic situation? Even with the Lukaku thing? Like, you don't think they're sitting there, a guy like De Laurentiis, looking at Juventus and being like, oh man, yeah, no, we're not going to help him on this guy and his performances, like, over the years? There is no chance Napoli ever came in with 35 million for Vlahovic. There's no chance. No chance. No. No.
Yeah, at first they would have offered what you were asking for, 20. So going for 35 is exaggerating. I mean, any reporter would have wrote that, would have gotten retweeted and whatever. Like, it's a great time to have this post.
You know how they tried to help Juve by offering peanuts for Meretti and not willing to go up a bit whatsoever. They didn't even want to go like so. Gatti had 30 million from Newcastle, and he rejected it. Napoli didn't even come close to 30 million on Gatti. It's there's no way they are gonna help us out of the Vlahovic debacle, which would have obviously seen us land Kolo Muani, etc., and move our window on. There's no chance, you guys. No, but people are using this to paint a picture around Comolli and gaining this respect back for Juventus. I see it one way, and I see certain things that he is standing firm. Because Fabrizio Romano came out and he goes, no, the one thing is Comolli's setting the standard by saying that, you know, it's going to be on our terms that we agree with. That's cool. I'm down with that. That's phase one. But phase two, the actual terms we are asking for need to be a little bit higher. That's all. I'm down with him not doing things unless it's good for us and our terms. But I still think our terms can sometimes be bending the knee. And maybe this Savona one might be a little bit of a bending of the knee because I just think it's pretty low. 16 ultimately with a 10% release clause. It might be 15 with a 10% release clause. I have no issues selling him if you guys see him as a redundancy. But my God, that's the absolute best you can do when there's guys that played less than him. He had games, he shut down some of the best offensive players in Serie A out of position. I mean, there's potential there. This is a very, very light price tag, and it's coming from the Premier League. That's the problem I really have. If you take that number and you make it pounds, okay, I could kind of deal with that. Now you're pushing 20 million, but there still has to be like a bonus in there on top of the resale. It's a little light for me. I'm not saying we got to keep this guy by all means. It's a little bit light. The biggest thing is bring me some players. Because now you're going to get your 15 million capital, your 60 million capital, whatever the hell it is. If you said goodbye to this guy and there's no players still coming in on the back side of it, as Zhigrova, we hear, is still all of a sudden working with Marseille, Kolo Muani, there is still a gap there between PSG and Juventus. If you said goodbye and the price is light and there's nobody coming in, that's a significant boost to the team, then I have a little bit of an issue with it. Omer, the Savona deal before we get to the next storm the bar?
Well, I'm kind of the same. I don't think Savona is anything special based on what I've seen. Of course, I might be wrong and he might turn out to be a phenomenal player, but I'm not seeing it yet. The price is light. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no shock. to us. Like we're kind of used to it. It's just annoying every time. I think the more annoying part of it is again another Italian youngster moving to the Premier League for bigger money, and now I don't think it matters which player it is. It just annoys that it's happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not shedding a tear over Savona the player, and I hope there's an end game to it. Some transfer that might be unlocked because of it, and something that we need. It seems like we ditched the center back position. We haven't been linked with anyone in a few days, so if it's eventually Kolo Muani and Zagrova, I hope that's what speeds it up because there isn't a lot of time.
Yeah, it's getting skinny here. I just these deals where we just bend the knee, and I go as far as this. People were challenging me on thinking that the price is light, and I'm like, well, yeah, I think the price is light. You're telling me that there's double the value gap from Gatti to Savona? I actually think it's a lot closer. If Gatti's getting 30 mil offers, I don't think Savona, like, if you're factoring in how young he is and the potential and what he did coming out of position, covering multiple, but since he played in a three-man back set in one of the center back roles, especially on the right side, he looked good. I just I don't know. I don't see it as a 30 million to 15 million gap there in price. I got him somewhere at 20, a couple like a little bit bonus in there and a sell on clause. You're probably better. But again, it's got to mean somebody. You got to bring me somebody. Mas.
Yeah, and I mean, all we're doing with these lower values is setting continuous precedents, right? I mean, the other teams in Europe are basically seeing that we're selling these guys for peanuts, and the vultures keep coming in, right?
Yeah.
It's not a good look for us, right? At the end of the day,
Uh,
I agree with you. The dollar amount's low, but you nailed it. If we're selling all these guys off, we already have a problem with depth. I mean, there needs to be bodies coming in. I was already concerned with center back, earlier in the summer. You offload another guy, it's concerning, right?
Imbangula, Weah, Louise have all gone, and it's meant nobody coming in so far. David was on a free. So it's like all these guys have gone. And yeah, you had obligations that came in and now stand towards your books, and you're trying to level out this mercato. But still, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to deal with it. That's your job. You got to go into the season, and we got to have some serious ambitions about it. You can't just keep feeding the fans lines year after year after year. Get the job done. So we've already said goodbyes, and it hasn't meant anybody coming in so far. Now all of a sudden, you got a young guy. You get rid of him on a light price, and it still doesn't mean somebody coming in. Like, that would be the worst case scenario for me, and I'd be absolutely pissed. Speaking of young guys, everybody that's on Francisco Barrido, pay attention. Pay attention. Technical and economical evaluations not aligning. And that would be a big fumble. That would be a big, big fumble. So keep eyes on that one. In terms of Comolli, you're saying one thing, but again, some of the actions aren't lining up. So you're pushing for respect. You're pushing for your terms, etc. Well, you're still saying goodbye on some skinny deals. So come on, step it up. Step it up. Cugino Eddie, last year's window was the worst ever. Not only by who we brought in, but who we got rid of. Hoyson and Chiesa. This mercato is just a product of that. I don't think last year's was the worst ever. I don't think this one is the worst ever, and I don't think last year's was the worst ever. Anytime you are at Juventus and you have a window where one pickup is made and it's Timothy Weah, that is, in fact, your worst mercato ever. Period. Should never happen to a side like us. We had a coach that was asking for players, and we literally gave him Timothy Weah and said, go and fight for the Scudetto.
And Gonzalez. He also came in that window. And I think like 2 years before that, we only had Lucatelli in a saga that went on for ages and was concluded in August, and that was it. That was also a horrible summer. If you want to go further back, like the Ferrara season, everyone we bought just was a heap of shit. Just every purchase was awful. And we do have some bad ones. I don't think this one is as bad. Not last season's.
Yeah.
We had worse. It could be worse. I mean, even looking from the inside out, from Comolli's position, we don't know how bad the situation is, how restrictive the rules are, how careful he has to be based on what happened in the past few years. I mean, we'll have to see. Maybe that frees up a lot more money next summer. If we do have a good season, then we will build on that. And if maybe it would have went wild this summer, then that was basically it.
Yeah. And I mean, to go back to last mercato too, and again, my thoughts on this coaching, some of the guys like Conceição looks a different player under Tudor than he did under Mota.
Hmm.
He looks better. Cope Miner's playing in a midfield role. Who would have thought a midfielder looking better as a midfielder? I mean, if these guys start to perform under Tudor better than they did with Mota, that goes to show you that the Mercato probably wasn't as bad as everyone's making it out to be. I mean,
Hmm.
you still brought in guys that could play. The Douglas Luiz one is one that still stands out, and I still threw out some question marks around, did the team try to repair anything? Would we have been good with him as a depth option and coming off the bench or battling for a starting position? Did we
Yeah.
even make that attempt? Because right now, that's a move that Comolli, if we're going to talk about our terms, that's only a 2.5 million loan this year. And there are no guarantees there. So we assume risk in that. So hopefully we don't have another Brazilian midfielder that we see return every summer and have some issues with. So hopefully not. Thoughts on the Champions League draw? We got into it. Yeah, we like it. We like it. Giddy up when it comes to Champions League. Get after it. Tudor won't have to adapt too much there. I think we'll be all right. Anyone? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Let's talk about old Juan. Juan. So, Juan Cuadrado comes out and he states a little tidbit about his goodbye at Juventus. All right. And he pretty much said that Juventus is the team I've won, the team of my heart, excuse me. I've won so much there, and there is where my children were born. I wanted to stay, but suddenly the club announced on social media that it would not be renewing my contract. I was so disappointed, as they could have called and told me. The fans boo me for going to Inter, but I wanted to continue playing at a high level. So, Mitch making the statement there. If it's true, we're becoming a bad managed team. I mean, if that's how it went down and you didn't have a discussion with a player telling him he was on the outs, yeah, that's a pretty bad look. I think we can all agree, right? That's a pretty
Yeah.
bad look. Do you believe?
Now,
Do
what
you believe
management
it?
was that? How many managements ago was that?
Yeah, that's a while ago. That's a while ago though.
Yeah,
But guys,
yeah.
this is the same team that they lost a legend or I mean, Del Piero was on his way out, and we treated him poorly as well. I mean, can we expect anything different? Doesn't surprise me, right?
I
I
mean,
know. So I mean,
I
it's a
don't
bit
know.
unfair to be like that, because that's what you sometimes have to do in order to move forward. Just when it works out, and it's not a player you like or whatever. Real Madrid are doing it all the time. They know exactly when to get rid of their most
Yeah.
beloved stars and still sell them. You just have to do it right.
Here's my thing. Okay, if management did that, that's guard. But do you actually believe that he had no idea? He was on a final contract year. Guess what? If there's no
Mhm.
discussions for renewals, what do you think is going to happen? Like, I mean, you think they went that whole season and his agent is just like, oh yeah, we're just going to hang out here and wait for something to happen. You don't think there was any discussions there had? Because that would have been 2023 would have probably been what? Cherubini and Arriva Bene, I believe. Arriva Bene, if he had any part there, was probably as straightforward as it went because he told Dybala, see you later. Like, they were as upfront as can be. I call bullshit. That's just me. Also, this whole thing about I wanted to play at a high level, you went to, like, you know what going to Inter means. And if you cared that much about your legacy and all this, Juve is the team of your heart. Oh, he wanted to play at a competitive. You played you made 10 fucking appearances for Inter, man. And you jumped at the first opportunity that they baited you into an anti-Juve chant and started fucking jumping around and dancing around like a meathead. I don't give a shit what Juan Cuadrado says. And I call bullshit. That's just me. I don't believe it, boys.
The fact that he went to Inter could be he was just so bitter over the way his exit from Juve was, right? So maybe that story is true.
He didn't get a renewal. That's business.
Yeah. Life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I failed to believe that at some point they weren't like, yeah, no, like, there's just no renewal talks. Like, we're not renewing. I fail to believe that. You know, that's just me. You guys eat at Subway? If you do, what's your order from Subway?
Oh, I love Subway. I ate Subway like a few days ago. And
What's the order, man?
the order is chicken teriyaki with avocado, jalapenos, and Italian white bread, I believe it's called. And I don't know, some spice, some chili, hot chili or something like that. And that's it.
All right. Mas.
I used to like Subway, but as I've grown older, I've noticed that a lot of these places in general are not the same as they used to be, unfortunately. And it's a little sad, to be honest. But yeah, I haven't been for a while. There's a lot of other like sandwich places around here that do a better sandwich. But so I don't really have a go-to, to be honest. When I used to go, I think I did similar to Omer. I did like the sweet onion chicken teriyaki, I think it was called. But
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go there much. If I did, though, when I do, it's, yeah, turkey and ham on herb and cheese, white cheddar, okay? Get them damn veggies on there, some mayo, salt and pepper, some Parmesan, and then give me 2 white chip macadamia nut cookies, and I'm out the door. Boom. There you go, Adam, okay? There's the orders. I joined late. Has Savona arrived in England? He's en route. We saw the videos. There.
Yeah, probably
en
already
route.
landed.
It's going down. Will Kolo Muani join Juventus? If not, who will be our forward line? Right here,
Yeah.
striker, Mas on the right wing.
yeah,
Omer
okay.
on the left wing.
With my knees, you got to put
Probably.
me in net. I'm not moving anymore.
Yeah, I'm more of a right back, and I want
Yeah.
a bigger salary.
So as for the second part here, center back and right back, right wing back, left wing back, you might get a cheap option coming in here, you guys. Might get a cheap option coming in as a wing back. I don't even know with Kolo Muani anymore. This is just, it's annoying. It's actually annoying.
I don't
It's
know.
exactly
and I
the
don't care.
same since July 1st.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
nothing has
I'm done.
changed.
I swear to God, like, I've been believing for a while that it only happens if Vlahovic leaves. And then all of a sudden in the past 2 days, it just picks up so much heat. It's like they're closing in. They're working on the last details. And even Romano comes out with it. The last details. He's like, and it has to do with the conditions that make that option an obligation. That's the final details. And here we are today, the same guy saying there's still a gap. There was no gap yesterday. It was just conditions. And now all of a sudden there's like, it's just ridiculous to me. And if it does come down to a move where Vlahovic plays no part in it, holy fuck, boys. We took this long on a move that has no bearing from like Vlahovic or anything else. Like, are we serious? Are we serious?
Well, let's look at the sporting side of it. And like we gotta remember, because if that transfer does happen, we gotta remember that, I mean, Kolo Muani had nothing to do with it. Like, he's not the one blocking the deal or asking for a bigger salary or whatever. It's only Paris Saint-Germain asking for more money and preventing the move. So when he does play, I mean, we need to be careful shitting on him if he doesn't do well because of the high price, because he would have come here at the beginning of July if it was up to him.
Yeah, it was actually the total opposite. He blocked out other teams just to come to you.
Yeah,
right.
Everyone, like, he's not the reason he's not here, and so are Juve.
Yeah,
and I think he's a good transfer because I don't know if Jagrova is coming or not, but I can see Juve starting one game with like David on the right, Kolo Muani on the left, and Vlahovic central. I think that's the strength of this group, barring Vlahovic, that they can all sort of interchange and play all those different roles in attack, because it's not winger. It's not winger role. So I like it.
Kolo's not an issue for me. Kolo won't get any heat, I think, from this deal or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Like, if it goes down, this is just a part of it for me is just the frustrations of how we operate. And it feels like every single guy that we go after has to be a fucking saga.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop it with the siesta time. I'm telling you, get shit done. Like, this is insane to me. Shit, or get off the pot. Even like a move like Savona that you wanted to sell like for so long, like, and in the end, that's the price tag. Like, put the fucking flyers out. Put the flyers out if it's going to be that light a price, like, early on. And if that's what you needed to get one of these deals done sooner, get it going. You've waited this, like, I just don't understand the wait. So if in the end we get Kolo Muani and Vlahovic is still around, holy hell, what the heck took you this long? Like, seriously.
I'm just annoyed with
fighting for terms or trying to fight for terms, because I'm not going to buy that shit anyways, because the terms are as high as they've ever been. So it's not like, oh, you waited so that PSG feels some type of strain late in the window. What strain? It's 60 million. 5 million loan, 55 million purchase price is what Romano brought to us yesterday. Holy shit. We're slightly more than what we heard in July.
They don't need the money.
You know?
They don't need the money, and they don't need the money. That's why it annoys me.
Well, yeah, but that's what bugs me in this situation. People are shitting on PSG. They don't need to do anything. They own the player. Mm-hmm. They're one of the richest clubs in the world. If they don't want to sell them to you, then they don't want to sell them to you, unless their demands are met, right? So, I mean,
I still kind of feel like this
is being held hostage.
This Vlahovic thing, man. I still feel like it's a Vlahovic out thing for Kolo in, and I don't even know. I don't even know. And Comolli's sending everyone with, like, all over the place with some of the words he's saying and everything, but he's 99% Vlahovic is staying. So what's the alternative was one of the Storm the Barns. Like, there isn't much for alternatives. I'm not buying this Jackson thing, okay? Not buying that one. Honestly, it might be circling back to a name that we heard that would come on a loan. And it's going to come from the team that got knocked out by Grimsby there. Rasmus Højlund might be a loan pickup. Coming in on a loan with an option. And I wouldn't be surprised.
It seems he's going to Napoli, like it's already done, or very close to being done.
Is it? Because I heard that it wasn't.
Yeah, I saw Nicolas Kira that it's almost done,
because
I believe.
Milan was in for Hoyland for a bit
Yeah,
too.
Milan was
Napoli
in
has been
it.
in there for a bit, and I don't even know, man.
And then they brought in Boniface, and suddenly that didn't work out, and now they got that guy
Well,
from
they went and
Sporting.
signed
Yeah,
Nkunku, right?
yeah.
The thing with
So they're
The
out.
thing with Hoyland is, from what I read, is he doesn't want to go to a team where there's going to be an option to buy. He wants certainty, so he wants to go to a team where the team will own him outright,
Yeah.
which is what Napoli's offering.
I don't
The
see
qu-
Jackson as an option though. Like with the rumors that are coming out today, his price tag, I don't see it. I don't see it.
well, the only viable option afterwards, if the Kolo Muani thing doesn't work out, is why not go for Lukman? They were asking for 50, and they were
Yeah,
sticking
but
to 50.
Lookman,
If you're already going to pay 60 million, he's out of the project there. He's training by himself. I mean, they kind of threw him out. So
Lookman's
he's
not a
basically
striker,
waiting
though.
for someone to come in.
That doesn't help us
He's not a
have a
And
striker though.
no, but
he's
you
not a
keep
striker.
Vlahovic. But you keep Vlahovic.
Yeah,
Because we
I
maybe.
mean,
are a bit thin in attack.
I rate Lookman. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't know where he would play, to be honest.
What's he gonna do? Fight for minutes with Yildiz? Or are we gonna literally put ourselves in that spot? It's weird. And I don't
Why
think.
why can't he do the same thing Jonathan David does?
Well, Jonathan David plays up top.
Yeah, but he drops back and he tries to hold the ball and they can alternate positions. I mean, it can work out in
You
some
want
way.
Lookman to play as a false nine?
Yeah. I
Yeah, I
wouldn't
don't.
mind it. I don't want it, but it's only if the Kolo Muani thing, because you
Yeah, I
have to
don't.
get the deal done fast. I
I don't
mean, if
know. I
Kolo
don't know.
Muani doesn't
And
happen, you have two
Atalanta,
days.
despite the situation there, isn't going to drop the price tag anyways. And that would be like a flyer. Like
Mhm.
if all of a sudden like the situation's broken, you could take advantage. Okay, maybe. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's we're in a spot.
Mhm.
We got to figure something out. But like I'm going to tell you right now, I I don't know. Like, let's say for instance, the mercato ended and it was because this is one of the things I asked. If Jagrova and Kolo Muani came in and we wrapped up those two pieces of business, how would you rate the mercato? Like, if that's where it closed, I still don't think we're focusing on the priorities where they should be. I'll be quite honest.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
6. I'd give it a 6.
I, I mean, Kolo Muani would be solid addition. Jagrova's got a lot of question marks around the fitness thing coming off a brutal year for injuries, and the adductor thing concerns me, even if he had surgery or not. But he did have the surgery to repair it. I need a left wing. Like here we are staring down the barrel of match day 2, and your options are Kostic, McKennie, or Lloyd Kelly as left wing back.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been dealt
Yeah,
with before you get to this point. It's 25
yeah,
26, and I'm hearing Kostic for left wing back at Juventus. The fuck, boys.
yeah. I'd give it a 6 at best. It's not a good transfer window by any stretch of the imagination. I do like the signings we did. The guys
Yeah.
we did sign. Just it's not enough. It's not addressing all the issues. David is a very good signing on a free. I like Chico and I like him coming back. And Joao Pedro seems to be a good deal, and he's a player who can also increase in value because
Joao
the value
Mario.
is very low. Joao Mario.
I wish it was Joao
Oh,
Pedro.
Pedro again. Oh no, no, no.
I
So,
And
wish.
but
yeah,
just not enough.
I like the pickups
It's
we
not
made,
enough.
but we said goodbyes with no guys coming in,
Yeah.
and that for me is an issue because you're still staring down a depth issue. So it takes a hit. I'm probably the same as Omer. I'm probably like a halfway, like a 50-50, like a 5. Probably like a 5 or a 6. Mas, what do you think if it ends there?
Yeah,
How about
I'm
if
in
it
and
ends
around
like this and no Kolo Muani, no Jagrova?
a 4,
That's
maybe.
a 4.
That's probably a 4. That's probably like a 3,
Mhm.
because like I said, the goodbyes
Yeah.
and nobody coming in. But Mas, if we did land those two, your score?
Yeah, I'd probably be a 6, 6.5, maybe. Here's
Okay.
the problem: we're an average team, right? one of our biggest problems last year was in the final third, creating chances, goal scoring opportunities. So bringing offensive players in isn't the worst thing in the world, but then you have a problem in terms of depth on the back end. So we have a lot of holes to fill on this team, and like, where do you focus your time and your energies? Looks like the team is looking to upgrade, the final third, but any injuries that strike us on the back end, we're going to be in a world of trouble. You're relying on Bremer and Cabal once he comes back, two guys, like we've always said, that are coming off ACLs. So those guys are a bad tackle away from being out for another 5-6 months.
Yeah.
And then you're in a spot.
Yeah, that's the thing, is you're banking on Cabal coming back, and he's coming through an ACL. We still have Bremer that's there through an ACL. One of the reasons I'd like to keep Savona around, but it is what it is. That's done. So it could still end up this mercato in the same way it was last year, with some risky business, but last year felt like risky business at one spot. This year it feels risky business at several. Dusan Vlahovic, and actually a good point here. Why does he have to be competing in terms of Lookman? Okay, Vlahovic and David Vlahovic and David Keenan and Jagrova, Lookman with Chico. So Keenan and Jagrova, so you would say essentially if we got Lookman, he could play on one of the sides competing with kind of Chico, and Keenan would keep his side. Yeah, I don't know. Lookman seems to always play off that left side. If he moves to the right, or you move Keenan Yildiz to the right, okay, that's fine. You're still rolling with David and Vlahovic. I guess it's how I look at the situation, because I just think Vlahovic staying this year opens the door for some toxicity that I hope doesn't amount to anything. And now we get to the next one from Soiree, because there are rumors Juve's going to make an extension offer. How do you feel about that one, boys? Mas, offering up an extension to Vlahovic?
It really depends on what the number is. It's got to reflect his performance the last couple of seasons. It can't be anywhere near what he's making now.
Do you want to see him stay?
I don't know. I always liked him as a player, and I backed him until the very end when all this BS started happening. If there's a way he can repair the relationship with the fans and the club, I mean, at the end of the day, he can score in bits and pieces. I don't think he's a starter for us.
Yeah.
But he'd be useful. And what have we said all along? We need to build up the depth of this team.
Yeah.
That he doesn't have to be a starter, but at some point you're going to need better players.
Gio says good move. Can't let him go for free. Omer, how would you feel about an extension to Vlahovic?
Well, it's not the first time we've done it, right? We've done the same with Arthur, and that kind of didn't work out. We tried it a couple of times, extending in order to sell and not lose all the money on him. So I guess that's the move. I don't think he will take his salary down, and that's why I don't see it happening. But regardless of that, if he does stay, I hope he does well. I mean, he did have a great preseason, and he scored on the first match of the season. Great goal. Credit to him. That's what I expect him to do a lot more. So he was our top scorer in the past 3 seasons. If you can still get, as a sub, the 15, 20 goals from him in a season, coming on as a sub, maybe that's the position that he can be playing with Juve, then fine, great. Renew him, keep him, try to sell him, whatever. If not, then it's just a waste of time of everyone.
I gotta say, it wouldn't surprise me, because everything we do is on the fucking Fino alla Fine side. I mean, we even just sold Giallo a $3.5 million thing in 3 years. Okay, so we're even giving out the Fino alla Fine plan to teams. 3 years on $3.5 million. It's insane to me that a professional club would actually offer that up, and it's insane to me that we accept. But again, it's just to say that goodbye. But 3 years on 3.5 million, my God. As far as the Fino alla Fine plan with Vlahovic, here's my thing. Yeah, you have not losing him on a free. But the situation is, if it continues down the same path, even if he agrees a salary that you're comfortable with, you're going to what? Try to make something so you don't lose him on a free, but it's still in his hands. He might have shown me too much about where his head's at. And I don't know if I feel comfortable signing him, even if it's on terms that I'm happy with, because I feel like I could never move the guy even if I wanted to. And the way that these 3 years have gone, I'm just not comfortable in making an extension with this guy. I got to be serious. Like, I took some heat on the last show because I said, look, guys, if it's a matter of saying goodbye to him now with no options on the backside of it, like, you can't just take a deal for him now because you have no coverage. So maybe you do play it out and you just bite the bullet on that salary that you're going to be paying anyways. You're paying that salary one way or another. Even if you sell him, you're paying the difference in the salary. He wants compensation. So you're paying that regardless. It is what it is. I'm okay if you play it out and then you say, you know what, see you later because you don't have the coverage. The ideal route would have been to take an L, take a hit, and find a deal earlier on in the friggin' mercato when there was more teams looking.
Yeah.
But Juve has obviously gone through this entire thing, and this comes from the top, not Comolli. They don't want to take a hit on anybody. Not on Giallo, not on Artur, no hits. Here you are. This is the situation. But I would be weary to sign an extension for this guy because of what I've seen over the past 3 years. And if it starts to go toxic again and you're just locked in again, I don't know. It would really determine. The terms would have to be really good. And is he happy to be backup? Is he happy to be backup and accept a backup salary? I don't think so. So I don't think he's going to extend regardless. Because that's what we would be looking at. We wouldn't be extending him as a starter or a top option. So I don't think it's even there.
But you knew that piece of news was coming. Sooner or later. You just knew it.
Fuck, you can. The funny thing was, I did a joke bit. I was gonna post it, even like Champions. Like sometimes you could just write everything. You could sometimes wake up and just be like, "Here, I'll give you Juve's news before it hits," and you could just write it all. I actually had a funny one with the Champions League draw, and I damn near almost got it because of I was like, you could tell anybody that we were targeted with or anybody we had, and I literally picked Villarreal, I picked Sporting, and I picked Monaco for Pogs. And I was like, I bet you we land those teams. And I bet you we'll get Real Madrid because of Hoyson. And I should have posted. I didn't. I didn't get around to it, but it would have been hilarious. You guys, we landed all those teams. It was friggin' hilarious. You could just write the story sometimes. How do you explain the fact that Giuntoli is a terrible administrator when he led Napoli to win the Serie A and become one of the best Italian teams? Could it be that Juventus is at fault? Okay. So here's one of the things.
We have. Okay, go ahead.
I don't think Giuntoli's as bad as everybody makes it out to be. I think you have just an ugly situation right now that you've seen not just Giuntoli, but everybody walk in and deal with. And that came from management way before and how they were operating. These guys are still trying to do it. At some point, we have to look at the guys at the top and what they've done and what they are doing.
Yep.
We just spent time talking about Comolli, and we are unwilling to take losses on certain guys. Well, guess what? Then your roster stays the same and it stays stagnant. And you're waiting for contracts to run out, which is what we're doing with certain guys for next year. to me, that is a fucking waste. That is a fucking waste when you're Juventus and you need to get after it. And this is a league that is there still for the taking, despite us taking years to try and get our shit sorted out. It's still there for the taking. And we drop off and we're still in top 4. Other clubs drop off, they fall right off the map. We're still within a fighting chance away, and you just have this invisible team from the top, not willing to help those guys just get that last, wipe the slate clean for somebody, make it right.
Yeah.
So I don't think Giuntoli is as bad as people made it. Like, I really don't. And I go back, I stand firm. That was a good window last year because you're stuck. You're stuck in a shitty contract battle with Chiesa, who was having injury issues, who is still trying to prove himself, everybody. He's on a redemption tour. Like, that's what it is. You have Vlahovic coming up. I said, well, Vlahovic battles next on deck. You've got fucking Arthur showing up every single year. Kostic, Milik. Guys.
Yeah, and it's not of Giuntoli's situation in Napoli. The finances weren't the same. So he was forced to find young hidden gems, like a Kvara, for instance. Whereas coming into Juve, I mean, the finances were a disaster, but he inherited a train wreck from previous regimes. And, you know, you can't compare both.
It's different, but he's...
Yeah, I've said it early. I've said it early when he was fired. We had a show afterwards, and I thought that was a mistake because we still don't have a sporting director. Maybe things would have moved a bit faster if he did stay this summer under the guidance of Comolli. So I thought it was a mistake at the time to send him away. I think his biggest blunder was Motta and catering to some of his decisions. But we talked about it so much. I mean, we gave the examples of Marotta with Del Neri. So maybe that could have worked out a bit better. Maybe that summer would have gone a bit smoother. So yeah, I think it was wrong to sell him. I don't think he was the one and only reason for last season.
Here's where I go like a step even further, because it's like I would have had fears. I'm curious about what the next steps would have actually been for Giuntoli. But if his next step was to sell Kenan Yildiz, bring in Victor Osimhen, you know, I'm like, okay, hang on a second. Because a couple shows ago I said, if you sell Kenan Yildiz, I need 3 top additions to a side. Like, I need 3 serious additions. So if that's along the lines he was thinking, I'd be like, whoa. And this is my issue. You don't have those guys at the top right now because they proved it. Because last year, Motta, Giuntoli had free reign, and that's why I don't buy the bullshit that they come in, they're like, no, Giuntoli, we're getting rid of him, all this. You guys were involved too. Nobody stepped in at any point and was like, hey, we don't want to move this guy. Or we think, hey, like, we should second guess this because what are you going to do at the back line? You don't have those minds there. You have fucking number guys at the top and nobody's assisting in any way, shape, or form. So if Giuntoli was like, I want to sell Yildiz, I want to go to Osimhen, whatever, I don't have faith that those guys at the top would be like, whoa, man, like,
yeah,
let's pump the brakes, like, let's think about this. And they're trying to play that as if that was the thing. They had media
Comolli
going around saying that, oh, he wanted to sell Kenan Yildiz, that's why Elkin stepped in and fired him. Bullshit. Not buying that for a second. They fired him because they felt the heat from the fan base and they knew shit was hitting, like, shit was getting serious, and they decided to take the fall. We need a fall guy.
it doesn't feel like we have a management. It feels like we have one guy who's to blame for everything, and there isn't any. Now it's a bit different. We only look to Comolli, but there is Chiellini there, and he brought Modesto to help with the team. So we'll see how that shapes out. I mean, they are starting to build some sort of a management team and not just one guy to manage everything. We see
Yeah.
how it plays out. But Giuntoli, yeah, he was left standing there all alone, making decisions and explaining them.
And the team's done that time after time. They left Allegri to
Mhm.
stand alone and face the music for shit he had nothing to do with. That's the same guys that are at the top right now, by the way. That's the same guys that let Allegri take the media fucking tour for all that shit that he had nothing to do with. Same guys. They're a joke. They're a joke. It is what it is. Has Italy squad been announced yet? I haven't actually seen it.
No,
Delighted if
not
Fede
yet.
gets the call. That's what it is. Just qualify for the fucking World Cup. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? Just qualify. For God's sakes. It's a 112 team World Cup? Get in there. Like, get in there.
Not going to happen.
Hey. Easy.
You want another hot take? That's another hot take. Ain't going to happen.
But you're the coach now, Mas.
Yeah, I might as well be.
They said you look like Gennaro
the
Gattuso.
Gattuso,
They're
yeah.
like, oh, you got Gennaro Gattuso on here. I could
We
kind
may
of
be
see
better
it.
off. We might be better off.
You're in a much better mood than Gattuso usually is in, though, I will say. So
Yeah.
much easier to talk to. This Juventus leadership is worse than the Muppets that were before Agnelli took over. You'll see next year when he joins Real Madrid to form the backline with Huijsen. Are you, Savona going to Real Madrid? I think that might be overboard, Chris, with all due respect. But yes, some are very, very angered with the whole Savona situation and whatnot. But let's see how it plays out. I need some moves on the back end. I really do. I need moves on the back end. So let's get it sorted out. Don't you agree half of Mercato is made up by journalists? We don't know with whom Juve really talked. No, I gotta say, it doesn't come out of thin air. I think there are some journalists that you could tell have some stories behind things. And sometimes that can get a little bit much. But every time Comolli has come out and actually spoken, you get everything that you've heard in the news. He's literally told you exactly what you've been hearing. So it's not made up. There are aspects of it that are made up, but the basis, the names, it's all there.
The big guys wouldn't risk their credibility on made up stories because they do have access to a lot of information, a lot of people within clubs. It's the smaller guys that lie a lot of the time. We did hear a lot of names, and we heard about Sancho up until mid-August, and then Fabrizio Romano comes out. Juve have never made any offer for Sancho. Maybe just exploratory talking, and since then we heard nothing. So everything we heard up until then was kind of bullshit. All the numbers, 10 million, 25 million. It's very hard to distinguish what's true and what's not. So stick to the main guys because they wouldn't risk their career for that.
Here's the thing with it though. There's cycles. Because Nico Schira, top. One of the best for 4 years running. Fuck, he's on a shocker this summer. Like a shocker. I don't think I've seen a drop-off like that in that world. Like, he's having a horrific summer. But he's got now all of a sudden, he's in check. And you start listening to some of the things he says, and you're like, okay, now you got to start, he's back down on a grain of salt thing, and guys like Fabrizio remain kind of high up where it's like, okay, you could kind of take that with a little bit more weight. For Di Marzio, people swear by Di Marzio. He came hot last summer around Juve. He was on fire around Juve last summer. This year, it's died down. It's died down. So you always watch for these guys, but yeah, I mean, they can cycle too. They can come in, they could be hot one summer, and then they could be not the next one, pretty much. So you just watch for it, but it's not as like drawn up or out of the blue or complete BS. No, like, so unless it's Montblano, some things you can sometimes you can see these things.
I think you're right that the stuff is based on, majority of the time, based on fact. But what they do is they strategically, on a daily basis, give you little tidbits like,
yes,
oh, they're close, clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, talks are off, clickbait. Right? They give you little nuggets that may not be true, right? Just to kind of keep you interested. But the basis is typically pretty accurate.
It's a percentage issue. Like if some paper throws out like 300 names related to Juve from January to July, and one of them sticks, they'll go out and say, "Oh yeah, we were the one who called it first." So just have to look at the guy's success rate, because no one's perfect. Fabrizio Romano got a lot of things wrong. Skira got things wrong. I mean, don't take any of their words to the bank. That's the point.
Yeah.
Look at this. Oh. Can't, like Rodney Dangerfield. I can't get any respect out here, okay? My God. Where's the respect? Don't get me started on Fabiana Della Valle. I don't even think that's a journalist. I think it's literally like a fake account focused on friggin' just Vlahovic prop, okay? And that's probably why Fabiana Della Valle got Vlahovic right and was the first one to it. There's something going on there. It's crazy. Maybe she is one of his ladies of the night. I don't know.
I call her Fabiana Tancredi Palmieri, the female Tancredi Palmieri. That's what she is to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. Adam, I was going to a wedding. Okay, I think I know where this is going. I was going to a wedding with my boy Nicolo, and I had my suit ready, but something was missing. So Nico said, "Let me put some suave on you, Savona. Some suave on you. Some suave on you." Oh my God, that is garbage, Adam.
Oh, Omer, that's good.
Yeah,
he had it ready to go.
I can prepare this time.
You know who's fallen off? Adam. Adam's fallen off.
Yeah, Adam's fallen off, man. Immediate red. That one was bad one. That was a bad one, Adam.
We gotta come up with a different shade at this point.
The best one might have been the Locatelli driving manual.
He came in hot from the start, and it's just it's been a slow decline ever since.
Man, Mitch threw 2 reds out. Double red?
Wow.
Double red. Get back to the pen and pad, man. You got to come up with some better stuff there, Adam, but we still love you. If we're going to keep Vlahovic, should we go for Lookman? Well, here you go. So we've already kind of tackled this one. There's a lot of storm in the barn, so let's try and keep it rolling because, Lookman's kind of one of those things that split. I will say this, though. Let me drop a poll here for everybody. And let's see what the Army says. So we'll drop that one in there on Lookman if we should go after him. And then we'll see what it stands. How's everyone okay with Savona's sale when we have Kalulu playing on the same position? Why not sell Kalulu if he had such a great season and keep Savona? The club under Elkan is a joke. Kalulu's just became final, and because it became final, you can't actually move him in the same window. So you couldn't physically do that anyways, even if you wanted to. But that wouldn't be my play. Here's the shit show of the back. situation, I would like to keep Savona. The craziest thing is that Lloyd Kelly is the only one out of all the names, Savona included, that can occupy the left in a somewhat decent manner. That's disgusting. Okay? Kelly would be my first choice sale. But the fact that Savona can't play the left side to save his fucking life, Kalulu can't to save his fucking life, Gatti I don't want to see on the left side, this is a problem. And it changes things because they put a lot of weight on left-footed players on the left side of the pitch. Yeah, it's just one of these things we're in. Gatti refused sales anyways. So if they need this money, like I said, if you need the money to wrap up a deal, then it's time to shit or get off the pot, boys. Get somebody in here. But that's the reality of it, you know. As far as being fine with the sale, again, I'm fine with it, depending what comes. If nothing comes and we said goodbye, stupid stuff, you know. And yeah, he's not my first pick of guys I'd like to sell. But if you have to sell somebody to get business done, well, sadly, your coach, Tudor, will play a part in that too. He's not using Savona on the left side. You know, what do you do?
Yeah.
Gatti and Kalulu are ahead.
I just don't think he's that good to have the debate. The debate is on the price. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think it can be higher, but I don't think Savona is that good of a player. Still, Juventus needs another guy. I don't know if Gonzalez is staying now after we got rid of two center backs.
There is a big there's a huge battle between where fans view Savona. It's crazy. Like, I feel like it's split like almost right down the middle with this kid, where it's just like 50-50, like see something or flat out don't. And it's crazy. Like, even just from the content that put out around that move, it's like YouTube felt pretty pissed off about it. I think like Instagram was like, yeah, for the majority, I think okay with it. Like, let's go. Like, bring me Jagrova, bring me Kolo Muani. Like, let's go. It's Twitter was like almost split right down the middle from everything I was seeing. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but that's a straight reflection of the player himself. Like, we saw flashes of a really good defender last season, but there was also times where he struggled.
But I think his struggles, they're predominantly on the left. On the right side, he always had the defensive aspect. He struggled a bit getting forward, but I don't see him as an outside player. That's the thing, is like, I was like, I see this guy moving into a center back role and actually doing well, especially if we're going to play a back three. But the outside role never really seemed, for me, like where he should have been. But even when he was there, he was shutting down good guys. I think there's definitely a player there with some potential. Yeah. But again, what does this mean? It has to mean something. So he's gone. Who comes in? Let's see. As far as the Lookman poll, 62%. No. So 62% say no on Lookman and go on that route. We're going to try machine gun some of these. Is it wise to continue this season with just Bremer as a center back with just Rugani as his backup? We need a top quality who could play center back and right back immediately. Who wants to tackle this one?
I've been banging that drum all summer long. So,
yeah,
I mean, I agree 100%.
Yeah. I would have liked to see another top center back option come in. Omer?
I think that the same can be said for a number of positions on the field. Like the drop off from the first team to the reserves is pretty massive. That's my biggest fear. this season, and some players have to start putting up. Even Thuram, I don't see a replacement for Thuram and what he offers us on the field. I don't see a replacement for Cambiaso, and I don't even see a replacement for Yildiz. So the same can be said about them. Bremer, yeah, we already know how that turns out because it happened last season. But regardless, eventually the level is going to drop off on your bench. Like you can't keep another guy the same level as Bremer as a rotational piece.
Guys, everybody get those likes up. We're going to keep trying to machine gun some of these. But yeah, I mean, getting a top option would have been ideal for coverage there.
Would have been nice.
But, I mean, it's tough. It's tough with two guys coming back from ACLs. Like, you'd like to see another name come. But see, it's what it is. Is there anyone still out there that can be a solid piece in our back line? So who are the last kind of guys?
I think Laporte hasn't signed yet, although he was very close to Athletic Club.
The only two I can think of are Laporte and Balerdi are the only two. And Balerdi, club has no intentions of saying goodbye to him. And we were, linked
I think he
early
said
on.
So too. I think he said so too, that he wouldn't leave.
Yeah. So it's literally like Laporte would be.
I mean, Man City are selling a Kanji for like 15 million, I heard. That could be a good option, but I don't think it doesn't seem like you were looking at any defender at all. I mean,
no, that's the thing, is they legit, to me, think this backline, I said this weeks ago, my fear. They think it's good. They think they're good to go.
And they thought they were good last year too, and then we went into the winter market and picked up Lloyd Kelly. So are we going to see? We
have more coverage than we did last year. Once Cabal gets back, but again, two guys off injuries. One guy being Lloyd Kelly. I mean, in keeping with this worst ever window for Juve, some have actually said the team is worse than it was last season. Chat, is the team worse on paper right now as it stands? Is it worse on paper than it was last year? Mas, Omer, either one of you can lead off on this one. Is the team worse than it was last year?
I don't think it's worse. However, it's not that far off.
It's the same team. What are we talking about here? Aside from David, it's basically Luis didn't play anyways, so it's the same team.
It's kind of the same. I wish we still had Danilo, for example, at least in the roster, maybe not even starting. I mean, there are some guys missing here. A lot of guys came back from loans. We'll see how they perform. It would have been nice to actually have Rugani last season. So it's not that far off. It's pretty close. I think it's a bit better.
I think we're a better team because we've got a better coach. Let's just put it that way. I think we're going to year 2 of Tudor. I think
Joao Mario will help. Jonathan David will be a big, big difference. He'll be a big, big difference.
Yeah.
Up top alone. I think it's pretty much the same side. There hasn't been much change. I don't know if I could say that we're worse, because the funny thing is we actually have depth at the back. We just don't like some of the names. But, you got better depth than you did last year. I can't say that we're worse. Chico's back. Yildiz is there. Jonathan David's up top. Vlahovic, so far, knock on wood, if he's going to stick around this year, which is 99% according to Comolli, scoring goals coming off the bench. Maybe he found his level. Maybe he found his role.
Maybe we don't talk about it enough, but Comolli did inherit a lot of these signings that were loans. Starting off the season, he had to sign Kalulu, he had to sign Gonzalez, he signed Chico. I believe Di Gregorio was also like a loan with obligation. So that was like the beginning of the summer. To start off, you had to spend 100 million on all those guys off the books.
If Cabal can stay healthy, I think he'll help. I think he'll actually play a good, solid role for this team, and he'll actually be a guy that Tudor, I think, will like the way he plays from that role. Bremer being back is huge. But Bremer was part of the side last year too. So I mean, if we're looking at it on paper, we had Bremer last year. We got him this year, right? So in terms of additions, it's only been 2. They've been solid. Miretti, keeping him around. Some say that hurts our depth in the middle. Others say no, that's a good move. You couldn't continue on with Luis because we never attempted to really fix the situation. I can't say we're worse. I can't say we're a worse team. We're slightly better on paper. Slightly better on paper for me. Because of Joao Mario and Jonathan David.
Let's keep in mind, though, guys, we're minus Renato Vega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks. I really wanted that guy.
I hate predictions, but aside from Genoa, what will your true and genuine prediction be against Inter? I'm going to get to predictions when it's closer, and I just see how we're shaping up, how we played the game before, where we're going into and everything. And honestly, with the whole Cambiaso thing, I'm not terribly concerned. I'm pissed off. I'm annoyed by it, but I'm not overly concerned. So we should be all right. All right?
Yeah.
If we're keeping Vlad, do you think we should promote Simone Guerra to our top team? I would better give Guerra playing time instead of giving it to Vlahovic. So we had a long discussion about Vlahovic a couple shows ago. Maybe him with a chip on his shoulder, playing off there, playing for a better contract, a better deal, like with a team, is probably, maybe that's best case scenario right now.
Look, he scored in every match he played in the summer, coming off the bench.
Nobody's coming. You're going to have to take an L.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know this Guerra guy. I don't know how good he is. I was about to say earlier that a lot of people bring up Dušan's salary, and that's why he can't be on the bench. I don't think that's how you make this decision, based on the salary, who's in the lineup, and it should be a starter. But I also don't think we should have a 20 million guy a season sitting on the bench and bring in someone from next gen to play ahead of him. I think that's a stretch.
I mean, if you were going to do the big push, we called it earlier on in the window, you had to freeze him out from the get-go. You've gotten yourself into a point now where here you are. You got yourself in a situation where you got to use him because you played that card. And, yeah, you don't seem too bothered by it. So it is what it is. Joe's asking, are there any good next-gen forwards that could take the step and get some minutes? I don't think so. No, not as a second. Not as a second, like to David and right now. I wouldn't get into that.
Maybe Milik. Maybe this is Milik's season.
For what? Milik's season at what exactly? Most gelatos crushed outside of J-Med? It's here for what? Everybody, get the likes up. We're going to machine gun some more really quick here. We'll try and scan here. Who do you think won the fight, Ro or Rabiot? 100% Ro.
Oh,
I hope it was Ro. I hope it was Ro.
I heard Rabiot was so quick on that speed dial to his mom to come and fight for him. I heard he called mommy really, really fast. Rami, in the event of Comolli calling his bluff and buying Kolo, but playing the clock till last minute to have again Kolo on loan, would you loan him again for 10 million? PSG has no room for him. So another 1 year loan on 10 mil?
With no obligation? I don't think that's on the table, but yeah, it probably would for 10 million.
If it goes down to the wire, loaning him for 10 mil just to, I mean, I would take him on loan for 10 mil. I mean, I hate these 10 million loans. They're friggin' ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's a 10 million loan. I mean, I expect some help on the salary too. Like usually when you loan a guy, you'll take his salary and that's really it. But on a cheap loan, 10's not a cheap loan, but yeah, for the coverage, I would do it. Mas, would you? If it came down to it, just a 10 mil loan?
Yeah, I don't like the dollar figure, but I probably would just for some depth.
Yeah. Which club? Tuna. Which club will implode this season? Napoli with Conte, ADL, or Allegri beefing with Redbird and Tade? Oh man.
I think I think the first one would be Atalanta with Juric, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
And but more chances Allegri than Conte. Conte has a really solid team there at Napoli.
Juric is getting sacked. Malta's gonna take the job. He will get sacked as well. Atalanta will barely get in top 10. And there you go. For Conte, there could be some issues there with Napoli and Conte. Right around more competitions come in, and Conte always complains. But ADL's going to take exception to complaints this year, if he makes any, if Conte makes any, because he went out of his way to give this guy a fucking team. Like, out of his way. Unheard of for ADL to spend like that. So they did. So if he has any words to say, I think it's gonna be an interesting to watch there. It'll be an interesting one to watch there. I'm surprised they made it last season, to be honest. But the Conte, it's a ticking time bomb with that guy. You know what's coming. You don't always know when, but we'll see. Make AJC great again. Bring back Skanga. Two statements that have never been used together. First off, all right. But Skanga, hey, when we get him around, we're happy. For the most part, we just need this guy to remember to put his pants on at that age. So as long as that happens, we're good with Skanga. If you could take any legend from Juve's past to play in the lineup, who would you take? Who would you take?
Right now, Chiellini.
That's a good shout right now on this team.
A Bremer Chiellini partnership, can you imagine? Jeez.
Yeah.
That would be unreal.
That would be wild.
Who's your pick, Mas?
I'd have to take Zidane. It's not even a question.
Stay skinny at the back, or take and just take one of your killers in the middle, top. Oh man, a parked bus means shit to a guy like Alessandro Del Piero. I'm taking my boy, taking my favorite player ever, taking Alessandro.
By the way, I gotta say, I really like the way Juve played in general. Like they weren't just passing around; they did try to get a lot into the area with short pass. They're a lot more direct towards goal. I really liked the way they played against that low block, which last season pretty much killed us, and we couldn't handle it. I like the approach we had against Parma.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think these teams with the park bus is going to be as big an issue this season as it was last year. Like, I think with Tudor, it's very, very direct. It's high pressure, putting them under at all costs. And second half, you felt that aggression ramped up. I like that. Because the first half, it was like, okay, looked a little stagnant at times off the ball. Chico was the only one really working off the ball. And Thuram fades in and out of like his influence, and it's interesting. But I'm like, man, when he's delivering those crosses, holy shit, can he ever put those things on a platter? Like, he needs to get on that ball more higher up there and find those targets. But it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Offensively, I said, though, these guys got to take guys on, and they got to get those dangerous crosses. And Kenan Yildiz, the first half, he is going to be massive for Juve. Like, we might live and die by this kid. Because the relative ease that he beat his man on the left side to get that first one into Jonathan David was brilliant. It's so easy for him. And it all starts there, right? You pin teams back and then let him cook, get him deep into the area there, maybe draw fouls, get some PKs. But the first half, he had no key passes. I'm like, that has to change. Has to change if we're going to succeed, right? So it's good to see. It's promising stuff. The biggest thing will be in the tough games. Will he be okay to still have only 2 midfielders out there? That's a big question. How does he change it up? What's the alternative? That we have to wait for. Now, we've got some posts apparently coming out here, and says that from Fabrizio Romano, PSG is waiting for an email from Juve because the agreement between the clubs is almost done. 3 to 4 million euros is still up in the air, but they're waiting for the okay from the Bianconeri to proceed. And Kolo Muani is also waiting for a response. Well, it's siesta time over there in Italy, so ain't no chance you're getting it for at least 4 hours. Okay, actually, I don't know. I didn't transfer over the time. What is it over there? 5. So it's like 4:30 p.m. Yeah, actually, it is still
4:30. Yeah.
They got about another half hour in some places, an hour of siesta time. So
an email is very specific.
They're waiting on AOL. There you go.
Looking for a Raven.
MSN Messenger.
Fortnite.
Their Hotmail account isn't working.
There you go.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It always comes back to siesta time, you guys. This whole mercato's been siesta time for Juve. Smokes. Let's go. Let's get it going. You guys, that's it for the Storm the Barn live show. But we got to ask these guys. Do you guys have a Storm the Barn? It could be past. It could be present. You got a Storm the Barn you want to bring up? Omer, Mas?
I should have came prepared. I don't got one.
You don't have one?
I don't have one.
I had one earlier. I forgot it. Maybe we already answered it. That's why I forgot it. Do you have one, Al?
You have one, exactly.
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh. Yeah, actually, I can always make up. Storm the Barns on the spot. I always love chatting Juve and everything. But, legends. So, you got guys and their legacy. This whole Juan Cuadrado thing. It's hilarious to me and whatnot. But some went to bat for this guy before and everything. And like Omar and I have like just the statuses we consider different and whatnot. But like there's a lot of guys that are in the building, as Skanga likes to say. They're in the building. You know?
Yeah.
This Hall of Fame building and whatnot. Cuadrado would be in that building, would he not?
Yeah, I think you would. I think eventually, you know, a lot of players said some stuff after they left, you know, and when the years go by, you kind of forget it. You always remember like the good times, and Cuadrado was part of a lot of good times, a lot of good wins, a lot of memorable moments. Eventually, that stuff with Inter and everything will fade away, and he will be in the building. The same can be said about a lot of the guys who left with a bitter taste recently. So yeah, Cuadrado is in the building.
Cuadrado's in the building. Mas, is Cuadrado in the building?
I mean, I don't want to downplay what he did for the team and what he won, but I think we can aim a little higher in terms of Hall of Fame, right?
You don't think he's like a legend status? You don't think he has a legacy with Juve? You don't think he's in a legend status? Not like we're not talking Del Piero. Those guys are icon. Like they're way above. But you don't think he's got like a legend status?
I guess, yeah.
Does Bonucci?
I would put Bonucci over Cuadrado, I think.
Yeah, they're both in there.
Does Lichtsteiner?
Oh, absolutely.
Lichtsteiner has legend status for you?
Hey, he's in the building.
He's in the building.
Again, all those guys were part of the. Let's not downplay how insane that 9 Scudetto run was, and all the guys that took part in it. I mean, you can make a shout for most of them.
Listen, if I'm putting Lichtsteiner in there, then I got to put Cuadrado in there.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So,
and we're not.
I would have to put Licht in there, so I'd have to put both in.
Yeah, but Cuadrado gets kicked out of the fucking building. now after what he did. He's out of the building.
Yeah.
See you later, man. But yeah, so Lichtsteiner you're putting in there. Okay. I just don't think we could throw the term legend around like so easily, like with Juve, and just like, you know, they're doing a cool event, and Lichtsteiner's going to be there this weekend in TO and stuff. But like when they push it as legend, take it easy. This is also Juventus that had a legend thing for Toronto, and Bernardeschi walked out on the stage. Can we call alumni and leave the legends to the legends? But Lichtsteiner is an interesting one because some were like, oh, that's okay for him to consider him under that. So I was curious to see if you put him under that title or not.
Well, if someone was an integral part of like 3-4 Scudetti, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. A lot of the guys we consider legends haven't been part of that many trophies and that successful period as the one we had. Yeah. So again, I distinguish between legends and safe for like the all-timers. The guy would get in the all-time starting 11, and you can have a debate about that. And icons are the guys who remind you a specific time when it was great and you really loved them. But
no, icons are synonymous with the club.
Yeah, we had that discussion a lot.
Icons are synonymous with the club. Listen, I got another one, though, we're going to get into. And Mitch, no, I didn't get your Storm the Barn about AJC. So, no, I did not see it. I've gone through them all. I don't see them in there. But you can fire it away again. Here's my Storm the Barn. Give me your top 3 personal at each position, okay? Your top 3 for Juve goalkeepers. Obviously, Buffon will be one, but I'll give you my top 3. It's Buffon, it's Peruzzi, and then I am actually gonna throw. It'll change with the third one, but I'm gonna put Tech as my third. I will actually put Tech as my third. I think he didn't get a lot of credit for the big shoes he had to fill. So for me, those 3. I can't say Zoff because I never watched him. Players I've watched. So those are my top 3 for keepers. Omer.
I think that's spot on because for most of the time I've been a Juve fan, it's been Buffon, so not a lot to choose from. Like I have to go to second goalkeepers like Manninger and Carini and all those guys. So yeah, Tech, Peruzzi, Buffon are the
guys. Are throwing in Zoff. I
just haven't watched him
play. Adam, you're younger than me, man, and I didn't watch Zoff play. That you've seen play, Mas. You're 3.
Yeah, no, I would. Your top 2 is what I would do. I would take out Tech and put in Peruzzi myself.
Mm-hmm.
So who's your third? It's top 3. Buffon. I had Buffon. Peruzzi. Who?
Sorry. Oh, okay. So Buffon.
I put Buffon, Peruzzi, and Szczesny.
Yeah,
okay.
I put Tech there.
Go to your back line. Top 3 you've seen play for Juve.
I want to say Chiellini, Thuram, and tough one between Montero and Cannavaro because Cannavaro was so good, Ballon d'Or good when he played for Juve. But the longevity, I have to go with Montero.
Okay. Mas.
We're talking just center back line.
Well, you can throw a back in if you want.
Yeah, I'd probably do Chiellini, Cannavaro, and probably Zambrotta, I'd say.
That's my 3, but I'm also like really having a tough time leaving Thuram out. So
for sure.
I'm happy with both those answers. In the middle of the pitch, your best 3 that you've seen play. Your personal favorite 3.
Zidane, Pirlo, and Davids.
Zidane, Pirlo, Davids. Okay. I have Zidane. I have Pirlo. I love Davids. I cannot leave Pavel Nedved out I've got to throw Pavel Nedved in there for me. So I go Zidane, Pirlo, and Nedved personally. Mas, midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my 3, 2, for sure.
Zidane, Pirlo, and Nedved. Yeah. We're leaving.
Yeah, I always thought
we had some shouts for the BBC as your 3 at the back. Bonucci.
Yeah, Barzali is a great shout.
Chiellini, Barzali. We had some Ferrara shouts who didn't get enough credit for his time at Juve, who was just a monster at Juve.
The problem is I focused on central defenders and central midfielders. Like I didn't consider wingers and fullbacks. So my answer might change if we include all of them.
Yeah. Now we get to the attack.
For the mids, though, I will say prime Pogba with Juve is tough to leave out. For that small window of time, it's
Vidal as well.
A player like that come along in a long time.
Well, I mean, you're going to leave a lot of solid players out there, but those that I've seen play, those 3.
Yeah.
And Azzurri Juve saw Shirea play. Well, there you go. The man Roberto Bettega said, "Is Juve."
Mm-hmm.
Attack, boys. Mas, kick us off with the attack. Top 3.
Baggio's got to be in there. Del Piero's got to be in there. Who would I put as my 3rd? Probably Trez, I'd say, as my 3rd.
That's it. That's my exact 3. It's Del Piero, it's Trez, and it's Baggio for me. That's my 3. And it sucks because there's guys like I want to put in there. A lot of guys I want to put in. Like, I'd love to put Vialli in there. I'd love to put Tevez in there. But just those are my 3. Omer.
Tevez, for me, similar to my Pogba comment, for that window of time, I mean, he was lights out, right? I don't think I felt the excitement that I got from that player since then.
Amaury, Bernardeschi, and Morata, greatest front ever. Swati, you know you want to put Chiesa in there. Come on. Don't leave Chiesa out there.
Yeah.
Omer, the attack.
Yeah. So Del Piero is a given. Trezeguet, I fully agree. Now Baggio, I've watched. I didn't watch Baggio a lot for Juve. So I'm gonna leave him out because I think it's unfair to the guys that I did watch. Can I use Nedved in attack?
Sure. Nedved needs to be in there one category.
Yeah, I'm fine with the trio of Del Piero, Trezeguet, Nedved going into a match.
Paolo Rossi made Mitch a Juventino. There you go. Man, we've had some insane players.
Yeah, I mean,
now we have
what
Lloyd.
Dybala has done with Juve.
Now
we have a man named Lloyd. Cycles, everybody. Cycles. We'll come back around. Those were my 2 Storm the Barns. You guys have been awesome. Had a lot of fun. Okay. We've got last ones that came in. Is Danilo in the building? No. He is not.
Yeah.
Was Tevez the greatest Juve player that we didn't have for enough time? So is he the greatest short-term Juve player for a window that small?
So I just mentioned Cannavaro was also here for 2 years. Zlatan was here for 2 years.
Ronaldo.
Cannavaro came back for 1 year, 2 years.
Yeah, he came back for 1 year under Ferrara, and that wasn't good enough. He was already like 37 or whatever. It wasn't it.
I don't know why Mitch's Storm the Barn isn't showing up. I don't know why.
Higuain is a good shout.
Yeah.
Higuain. Yeah. So Higuain or Tevez? If you had to pick one of those two.
Tevez.
Yeah, Tevez.
Fuck. Higuain was good, man. Fuck,
Yeah, he was.
That short window,
He
though,
was
right?
he was good, but Tevez was such a major difference when he came in from what we had.
Yeah.
That was like the
I
one area that we weren't that good at, and Tevez came in and just
He was a game
switched it
changer.
all up. Yeah,
Yeah. Game changer.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. Pipita was fucking
he was
beastly.
awesome. He just came into a beastly Juve. Like it kind of
That's a
had to
tough
work
one,
out.
man, for me to go
Yeah,
between those two.
it's really close, really close.
That's tight. That's tight. I
Mhm.
I like them both. I wanted Tevez to stay a little bit longer too, though. So I'd have to say that if I'm thinking about it that way, I'd probably go Tevez.
Yeah,
But my God, that's a tough one. It's a tough
Well,
one.
you got to look
yeah.
at you got to compare the situations too, right? Tevez came in and got the 10 right after Del Piero, so he had the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he didn't skip a
He
beat,
didn't care. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
he just didn't care. He was one of those guys that no matter where they get the ball on the pitch, you always have that feeling that something might happen. He might
Yeah.
make something out of it.
Yeah. Well, now we'll see what Lloyd can make out of the left center back position. Let's see. Let's see, everybody. Old Lloyd, leave him alone. He'll play his
Lloyd.
part. And I actually don't think he's gonna be that bad this season. I don't think he's gonna be that bad that season. But Cabal, could you imagine Cabal comes in and he can't claim that spot? Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be
I
something?
wish he would. I wish he would bench Kostic.
Kostic is a player I don't want to see. And going to Genoa, I did see one of the questions. What would you do? I leave everything the same as game one, except I would not start Kalulu as a right wing back. I wouldn't do that. You're already going to be playing somebody different for Cambiaso. So I would start Joao Mario on the right, and I would actually play McKennie as left wing back. Everything else the same as we saw in first game. Except I would play Kalulu at right center back over Gatti in the Genoa match.
I wanna answer that after the draw on Saturday. Then we will get the dates of all the Champions League matches, and it should there be a Champions League match between Genoa and Inter, or is it too early?
No, it's going to be after Inter. It's supposed to be September
After Inter is
16th, the
one.
first Champions League match.
Okay,
There won't
so
be
my
anything
answer is
between.
the same.
We have a break right after the Genoa match. It's international break.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so I'll do exactly what you did.
yeah. And Mas, what do you think?
What do I think?
You starting
in terms of
Kostic?
lineup?
You starting Kostic?
No, heck no.
Who do you play in the
do
left
that.
wing back role?
I would do McKennie.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but that's what you got available.
And the rest the same?
That
Rest
would leave,
starters, Joao Mario.
I would put Joao Mario on the right.
There you go.
I
There
think
you
he
go,
offers-
everybody. We got time in build up for Genoa, though. Everybody had a great time. Storm the Barn shows. We love these shows. You guys are awesome. Drop a like on your way out. Omer, Mas, always a pleasure. For the news, an email, everybody. Comolli's scanning those Excel spreadsheets right now as we speak and composing an email, apparently. Fabrizio Romano says PSG's waiting for an email. Huh.
Hope
That's
they
your
check
news.
their email in the next
On that
few
note,
hours.
it's Friday. Have a fantastic Friday. Have a great weekend over here for us. It's a long weekend. I'm going to be heading out to the lake, but that's not going to stop us from a live show, match day, okay, pregame show, and a watch along. As always, you guys are the best. Till next time, fino alla fine. Forza Juventus. Worst window ever? I don't think so. Not the worst. But my God, cut the siesta time and let's sign some players. Cazzo! Andiamo! Wake up! Time to shit or get
Yes.
out the pot, Juve. Let's go. Bring me Rasmus Højlund on loan. I'm kidding. Take it easy. Let's get Kolo Muani. Okay? Poor man's waiting in the airport for a fucking email. Let's go. Ciao, ciao,
Come on.
everybody.
Bye bye.